The Family, A Proclamation to the World says, "We declare that God's commandment for his children to multiply and replenish the earth remains in force." It has become a stereotype that Mormons have a lot of kids, and while it is a commandment to have children, it seems that most young married couples have children pretty early. But I personally have found some benefits of waiting a little longer than normal to have children. I want to tell you the benefits that I have found of waiting to have children. I have been married to my husband for a little over 3.5 years, and we don't have children yet. Now, that may not sound like a very long time, but for us living in a heavily populated Mormon area, it's pretty rare to find someone that's been married that long and that doesn't have kids yet. The decision of when to have children and how many is between the wife, husband, and the Lord. But there may be a few more things to think about and consider before making this extremely important and life-changing decision. I just want to talk about the benefits of not having children right away, dealing with finances, education, and your marriage. So just a little background about us. Like I said before, we've been married for a little over 3.5 years. We got engaged my second semester in college, and so when I got married, I was just barely 19 years old, and my husband was 23 years old. We were young and still going to college, still had a lot of college ahead of us, and we didn't have very much money, at least not enough money to support a baby at that time. Elder Neil L. Anderson quotes a Christian woman's blog that says, "Children rank way below college, below world travel for sure, below the ability to go out at night at your leisure, below honing your body at the gym, below any job you may have or hope to get." I agree with this quote. I agree that this is the way that society views children. Now, I don't think this is necessarily the right way to view children, but I don't think there's anything wrong with waiting to have children. But I do believe that this doesn't mean that everyone needs to have kids while they are in college. I also believe that we need to be able to adequately provide for our basic needs before we do have kids. There are many times that I will see friends that have children, maybe multiple children, and they don't make a lot of money, but they are still out there buying iPads and tablets and all these other things. Babycenter.com says it will cost over $188,000 to raise a child from birth to 18 years of age. That is over $10,000 a year. In reality, I don't think it quite costs that much for each child, but it definitely shows that it is expensive to have children. I'm grateful that I haven't had to struggle financially in my marriage. I'm even able to save up for the future and just for any other unexpected expenses that might come our way. In addition to being able to provide financially for our basic needs, getting a college degree helps us to do that. When I first got married, my mom told me that I should finish college before I decide to have kids. She gave me this advice because she did not finish college or get a degree before she had kids. She had children and she ended up having to go back to college to get a degree. And she had to go back while we were young still, and she said it was very hard to go to school and to take care of children when it didn't have to be that hard if she had done it before she had kids. Many mothers every day go to school and they graduate with their degrees. I definitely admire these college graduates a little bit more than the rest, but there's also the other side of this where they have children and they don't go back to college or get their degrees. And I have had friends that have done this as well. I think education is very important, especially for women. A few years back, President Monson said, "We do live in turbulent times. Often the future is unknown. Therefore, it behooves us to prepare for uncertainties. Statistics reveal that at some time, for a variety of reasons, you may find yourself in the role of financial provider. I urge you to pursue your education and learn marketable skills so that, should such a situation arise, you are prepared to provide. This quote is not saying that you need a degree to have children, but it is always good to be prepared for these unexpected things. You never know if something will happen to your husband. He could lose his job, get hurt, or he could even die. That leaves you with your kids and raising them and having to also have the job of being the financial provider for your family. This is probably one of the biggest reasons that I am getting my degree. I want to be able to provide for my family if anything happens to my husband. A college education will also help me to teach my children in the home. L. Tom Perry talks about his mother when he says, "The scope of mother's teaching included both secular and spiritual lessons." I know that my degree will not only help me in my career, but also in the home when I'm teaching my children. The last topic that I want to talk about is marriage. Looking back now on the last 3.5 years of my marriage, it has definitely gone by really, really fast, but I have found that this one is especially important for me personally. I have absolutely loved the time that I've had with my husband, the time that we've had alone, just being able to get to know each other a little bit better and just growing together. Having children is just such a huge commitment that we cannot go back on. And we've been able to learn so much more about each other and been able to grow closer to each other so that we can be the most prepared possible that we need to be to raise our children. We have even been able to go places and to just do some fun things in life as well. And there is more to life than just getting married and having kids and then raising your kids. And personally, I want to travel somewhere and go on a couple cruises and maybe even mark off a few things on my bucket list before I have children. And by doing these things before, along with getting my bachelor's degree and becoming a little bit more financially stable, I can make sure that my kids will have my full attention and be able to do some of those fun things as well when, just together as a family. Of course, everyone has their own time when they are ready to have children, and I know for myself it's taken me a little bit longer, I think, than normal. But I have found some reasons from my own experience why it can be good to wait a little bit instead of having children so quickly. I really do believe that children are wonderful blessings from God, which is why this subject should not be taken lightly at all. The most important part is to wait until it is the right time for you and your husband to have children, no matter what everyone else is doing, so that you can give your children the best you possible. I know for myself, seeing all my friends have children, it's been a little bit hard, but I know for myself, I've just needed to wait a little bit longer. I just want to leave you with this quote that I really do believe is true, but just for myself, it's taken me a little bit longer to get to that point in my life. And this is a quote by Angela Schwint. "While we try to teach our children all about life, our children teach us what life is all about." Thanks.